All right, folks. And speaking of which, let's get to the shout out. This is really funny because this is fun. This shout out will start with the opposite of a shout out. This is CNN's Chris Jansen. Oh, yes.
Shout out, shout out, shout out. My brain is still in recovery mode. Shout out, shout out.
It's been a while since people heard Dave.
My brain is still in recovery mode. Shout out from taking in so many high-level important ideas. Shout out from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
No, actually, I have a question about this.
The dial of ideas.
I like talking about ideas.
I like talking
high-level
ideas.
The exchange of ideas.
Shout out. High-level. Still in recovery mode.
Looking forward to sharing more ideas.
Does Mike Bloom... Where does Dave Rubin go in an era where Mike Bloomberg is spending this amount of money on campaigns? Is something to think about.
Actually, I haven't really kept up with Dave, but I wonder what he is saying about Bloomberg.
I don't know. I have no idea. I just think it's an interesting idea to explore. CNN's Chris Jansen. All I could say is she's reporting from Nevada, where Bernie Sanders is crushing it with this incredible coalition powered by workers. And, you know, especially if you're an on-the-ground reporter, obviously, if you're a talking head on one of these channels, you can say whatever kind of defamatory nonsense you want. But reporters are at least still supposed to pretend. Here's Chris Jansen not being able to pretend.
Largely people of color. Of those, the majority are Latino, and they are clearly, at least from eyeballing it, strongly in favor of Bernie Sanders, with Joe Biden coming in second. Brian?
Can you play that one more time?
It's unbelievable. Like, your job is to sort of, I'll play it in a second, but your job is to, like, know what sort of English you're putting onto your English, I guess is what you're trying to say.
Indeed.
Here it is.
Bernie Sanders
Listen to the one above. Let's just one more time. It's delicious.
Largely people of color. Of those, the majority are Latino, and they are clearly, at least from eyeballing it, strongly in favor of Bernie Sanders, with Joe Biden coming in second. Brian?
Now back to Chris and James Carville having complete emotional mental breakdowns. This is part of the Bernie Sanders team in Nevada, including Congressman Chuy Garcia, who just endorsed him. Chuck Rocha is not there, but of course Chuck deserves a huge amount of credit for this win. And we want to shout them out for the incredible organizing in Nevada. This Sun Belt strategy, mobilizing the Hispanic community, is going to be indispensable for winning in November. And if Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg were anything other than dangerous jokes and embarrassments, they would stop this nonsense of running for president and dump tens of millions of dollars into registering voters across the country, and particularly in Arizona, and be backing civil rights and voting rights lawyers across the country if they were serious for a second about beating Donald Trump.
They are not.
Which they are not. Here is the Bernie Sanders team celebrating in a way that recognizes Chris Jansen's contribution.
Bernie!
One more time.
Bernie!
Let's go make South Carolina 4 for 4. Let's give MSNBC and CNN more heart palpitations. Fox News might be amused right now, but we're coming for you next because we're going to beat Donald Trump. So if you can, get involved in the campaign now. Let's make this happen. Don't let Bloomberg steal it. Don't let the Democratic hacks steal it. Don't let Elizabeth Warren try to steal it. Any of them.
The bandwagon's open, folks. You can join a winning team during the playoffs.
Absolutely. And we welcome all with open arms. As Cornel West says, I love conversions. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.